Am I the a-hole for going off on my sperm donor after contacting me 31 years later looking for sympathy? Me and my sperm donor have a very strained relationship. From the stories my mother told me, he used to do drugs a lot before and after I was born. She told me that while she was pregnant with me, he never once helped her do anything. He took her money, made her cook and clean, and treated her bad. He even allowed his friends and family to treat her bad. After I was born, he got worse until he just took everything, his stuff and all of the money. He left my mom $38 to use to take care of me and left. My mom told me that when he left, he looked at her and then me and said, "She'll be all right," then ran off down the road like a drifter. There were a few times he came into my life trying to be involved, but they were all big letdowns, nothing to sing home about. So, fast forward to yesterday, I get a message from him on Facebook Messenger with him saying, "I love you." I was confused and basically just asked really blunt questions of what he wanted. He told me he wanted a father-daughter relationship and that, when I'm ready, let him know. I will admit I saw red and the 31 years of built-up anger, rage, and sadness exploded. I went off. I told him he was a terrible father and that he walks around caring about other people's kids and preaching about how God wants us to do this and that, but he could never follow those teachings and do right by me. He ignored every single attempt I made to get him to recognize that he didn't do right by me. He flipped everything around to make it seem like he's the victim. He even had the nerve to shame my mother for choosing me instead of him. I was a newborn. I needed her, but all he cares about is himself. I left him a long message pointing out his faults and how he needs to better himself, then called it a night. About 2 days later, he messages me while I was playing Fallout 76 with my friends and tells me to grow up and that I don't know anything about him. He then throws in a curveball by telling me he has cancer and that if I don't want a relationship with him, then it's basically my loss, and he'll pray for me. Now, I will admit I may be an a-hole on how I went off on him, but I feel like my feelings are warranted. His side of the family doesn't care about me. His mother preaches God to me every time she calls me on my birthday and pressures me to have children because I have yet to give her grandbabies. I'm not against having children, but I'm enjoying life before I focus on caring for a little human. His sister used to make fun of me and call me a football player as a baby because I was a chubby baby. Ironic since her daughters look like pit bulls. They don't even try to get to know me. The only time I matter is my birthday, and that's if they care enough. So, am I the a-hole for going off on my dad? Update. Me and my mom read some of your comments and she thoroughly enjoyed your thoughts on her ex. This update is small, but it sheds some more light on my sperm donor. He messaged me a little after I posted this. I guess he felt I was talking bad about him, hey. So I asked my mom more about my sperm donor and she told me that him lying, gaslighting, manipulating, and playing victim is his whole MO. She said he did it a lot before she had me. One story she told me was how when she was pregnant with me, she had to walk 2 miles from home to the grocery store, then back while carrying all the groceries. I was shocked because I thought he would at least help her, but she told me he always sat watching TV and didn't do anything to help. She then told me how after she was busy taking care of the house, bills, chores, and dinner, he expected her to give him some. I looked at my mom and legit said, "Mom, I love you, but you could have banged someone better." She just laughed and agreed with me. We spent the day just talking and bonding. The last story she told me of him is how he put me in danger. She told me that she had left me with him because she had to work and handle some errands. Well, this POS took me with him to a bleak house and just left me in a room with some random female while he went and got high. We were there for hours. When she hadn't heard from him, she, my aunt, and my grandma, her mother, went looking for us, and they somehow by chance found us. She saw me in the arms of a woman who took care of me while he was high. She was furious. After that, she never trusted me around him ever again. After hearing this story, I'm feeling so many emotions, but it has cemented my dislike of him, and I most definitely am going infinite no contact. I have him blocked on Facebook and will have him blocked on my phone permanently. I do have siblings, or I guess half-siblings. We have different mothers, but we all share his genes. I don't have a good relationship with them and they all act equally childish and entitled, but that's a story for another day. I don't know if he's told them about his issue, but I'm going to assume he has since he was pretty comfortable messaging me like he didn't abandon me. Whatever makes them happy, I guess. Not my boat to ride on. They haven't messaged me, which I'm grateful for. I'm too tired to deal with their childishness. I did, however, get a message from some woman who I later found out is his wife. I guess she felt like she had the right to talk down to me like she's my mother. I just sent her the middle finger, called her a bunch of names. My favorite is ugly Chewbacca-looking head ass. Stay in your lane. You're not an upgrade, you're the downgrade he settled for. Then blocked her. I then got emails from Facebook telling me I got messages from him, but I ignore them. I'm tired of dealing with this man-child's game, so I'm choosing to move on. As for his side of the family, I'm going no contact. I get a strong feeling that if I ever met his side of the family, I would probably go through abuse, name-calling, and what I like to call third child our black sheep syndrome, and I'm not up for that. I have my wonderful mother, and to her, I'm her number one. All I need is her.